guys play, how do you kind of turn the page on this one?
Well, I mean, there's so many good learning things that did occur, that you have to digest in order to improve as a football team. And, we've had a pretty good go of it, for a while. And yet, you realize how hard it is to win. And credit to Army, played really hard, played really well, and that's why they won today.
Brent?
Just from an execution standpoint, defensively on the first drive and then the balls coming out, was there a common thread in what was causing it?
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily a common thread. It's, we just, you hit it. You just got to be really gap sound, and then offensively, just how strong you have to be with the ball.
And to have the opportunity in this kind of venue with this kind of crowd, does it add to, and against a rival, does it add to the disappointment?
It does. You want, each time you play, you want to win. Certainly these games do have, the meaning that's involved in these games too.
Carson?
Coach, just early on in the game with those struggles, do you feel like the emotions playing in an NFL stadium, those things kind of got the better of your team?
I don't think so. I think more of it is just quality of execution or lack thereof.
Obviously, credit to Army, but did you feel like your guys maybe beat themselves a bit more today than Army actually?
That was a contributing factor, but certainly you don't want to take away from how well they played.
Coach Ken Kreitzer, Campbell. Just about the Army defense, being able to force the 6 turnovers. They seem to be putting pressure on your quarterback, so his throws were a little off today.
Yeah, I think that was a factor, in some of those that were involved in some of the throws. But, again, there's some one-on-ones. They won more one-on-ones, in a couple of spots, whether that's making a block, and we don't quite play that block as well as we need to. And then up front, our offensive line, credit to their front.
Brent?
Was there any thought in switching quarterbacks just to change things up, try something?
There was not, and we never even discussed it.
Brady?
You guys have been really solid at making halftime adjustments all year long. What was the conversation like at halftime, and what were you really trying to correct going?
Yeah, we felt like if we could get a drive and get a score, a touchdown, if you will, there in the third quarter, then maybe you could make it interesting, coming down the stretch. And we had an opportunity, and we got it down there. It was first and goal from about the 6, and we didn't score there. And I think that was a series that really made it even more difficult. The incline was already plenty steep.
Corey, we'll go to you.
Coach, you feel like you guys kind of got beat up front in the trenches all season long. You kind of losing your will, but today, early on, it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, you have to win up front. So true. I think especially in our approach with what we do football-wise, and today we did not.
Danny?
Coach, how frustrating is it when there's opportunities that are just missed? You had Roz had the drop that you had one by the end zone, the turnovers. There were opportunities there. How frustrating is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of what do you say? I mean, just those little bits and pieces. Now that doesn't make up for the times where the ball comes out, or we the ball they make an interception, but. That's part of football. We've had some games where maybe that couple of inches has gone our way, and we didn't do that today.
We'll go 2 more here in front.
With an offense that has a running identity, were you out of rhythm when you tried to pass the ball? Was it more difficult? I mean, how do you kind of find that?
Yeah, great. I mean, great question. I mean, clearly, what kind of the way we're established and built is for to be more runs. I think because of the score, we had to do some other things. We had to today just because of the score. And again, that's a credit to them being able to create that kind of separation.
Last question, Ken.
I'm just going to ask you about Bryson Daly. He's coming back from an injury, but he gets 170 yards today, 62 early in the first drive. Why was Bryson Daly tough to stop?
A really good player. You can see, I mean, just the build, the strength that he has, and played exceptionally well.
Yeah. John, I guess for you, how can you express this, to have this opportunity, this crowd, Commander-in-Chief's trophy, everything else in play, and then obviously have what you guys probably felt was not your day.
Disappointment, yeah. Any loss this year would have been disappointing. We had high expectations to come out here and win this game, and we just didn't. So, we're very disappointed in our performance today, but we're going to come back better next week.
Can you speak to what made you guys look out of sync? Was it a different environment? Was it just one of those days?
No, I don't think there was any excuse for it, whether it be environment or conditions of the day. We just didn't go out there and execute on the small things like we usually do.
Anyone else? Corey?
Yeah, John, did you guys feel like you kind of got out of tempo running through offense when the score kind of got out of hand? It was 23 to 3 when you passed the ball. Do you feel like you guys kind of had to get out of sync throwing the ball so much?
Yeah, we came out a little discombobulated. We just, like I said, we just didn't execute the small things. I feel like we had the right calls. We just made too many mistakes on our end.
What happened with the turnovers? Was it just kind of like little tiny mistakes there that just kept piling up? Or?
Yeah, we practice that every day at practice. Making sure we have good ball security. That we just came out today and we just didn't execute with that.
What happened on that first touchdown drive and that big run by the quarterback?
Just looked like a gap popped. I was on the other side, so I'll have to look at it in film. But just looked like a gap popped, and when you're playing a heavy run team like that, you're trying to load the box. They pop a gap and get a little downfield. Sometimes it's easy for them to get to the second level. So I got to look at it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did his return have a noticeable impact? That didn't look like a team that had won 2 games this year.
Yeah, they executed really well today. They did a great job. We knew that they were a capable team. You watch the film, you'll see it. They're a great team. They can move the ball. They're very physical, and we just need to be better.
The timing out of the gun, when they have a little bit of a delay, how much has that changed things for you guys, especially when you're so used to just attacking right off the snap, where you kind of have to let things develop a little bit? What does that do for the defense?
I don't really think it changed too much, but the quarterback is still a passing threat when he's got the ball like this creeping towards the line. So the back guys have to be a little bit slower, but other than that, it's pretty much the same offense, just out of the gun. That's all I gotta say.
It's been explained to me once that in rivalry games, momentum swings harder. When things started going wrong for you guys today, was the emotion of the other side, is that a lot more difficult to deal with?
By the other side, you mean just the other team? No, I feel like, whether it be in our halftime or just with every drive, the focus was coming out there and executing on that next drive. So, their energy, our energy, it didn't matter. The focus was executing on those each and every drive, and we just didn't go out there and do that.
And for Brandon, this is obviously disappointing. How do you regroup and what do you set your sights on?
I think we focus on the loss for tonight because it's going to be big going into next year, losing the CIC. But going into next week in Hawaii, we just got to go 1-0 on Monday, on Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then go win another conference game, and then just try to focus on the little things.
I'm just going to ask John, Ken Kreitzer, Canvas Media. Anything Army was doing on defense, they limited you to about 158 yards rushing in the game, half your average for the season. Lee alone, I think, had 12 tackles at linebacker. Is there anything particular Army was doing that was challenging for you?
No, we came out there, we seen their fronts. It was everything that we practiced for this week. Just didn't execute on our end.